On today's show, there may be a little road noise and background and everything. I recorded this one a couple weeks ago while I was driving down the road, headed to the job site. Kind of went on a tangent about the voting when it comes to like hunting rights and everything, and reintroduction of wolves in the areas. And in a few weeks, we'll dive more into that of what it's doing to everything. So just y'all hang tight with us. We'll get it going and see how it goes from there. Thanks.
Podcast. I'm driving down the road. I hear a bunch of horn and everything else. So if you do, sorry. I'm headed to work. It's on a Sunday. Shoulder a little bit. And I'm having to drive my personal truck to the morgue truck. So my work truck's two-wheel drive. It wouldn't even get out of the road I live on because of the weather we've had. Snow. Then once that melted, as that was melting into the dirt gravel road, it started raining for 2 or 3 days. So it's a mess. Thing about it was, like, I had to clean my windshield to be able to see out of it after I got out of the road. So I had to think about my headlights. It was daylight. It got dark. So I'm like, damn, my headlights on? Started checking them, like, still driving. I didn't really see. So I put them on bright. It wasn't much better. And I'm like 60 miles between convenience stations right now, headed out towards the Panhandle. So I switch over and turn my fog lights on with my dims. And I can see good enough to make it to, guys stop on the side of the road. But apparently they're so dirty, nobody's even worried about them being bright on bright or with fog lights on it. It's insane. So just headed there doing that. But basically what I thought of while I was doing this, I've seen 25, 30 head of deer before dark making this drive. I make it regular, weekly, and don't usually see that many deer. See a few here and there. But it's like, everybody knows they can say that, test the deer know when the season's over. They know when you're not going to bother them anymore. They just start randomly showing back up in daylight everywhere and everything. And it's crazy, that they know to change that quick. It's like they know when the pressure is not there. It's like, boom, just this light bulb goes off, and boom, they're back to habits that you haven't seen since prior to deer season. And it's really cool that they can pick up on that subtle change of everybody's not there. And it's like, that goes back into the podcast I put out a couple weeks ago. At this point, if you can, you should talk about feeding all year or doing spring and fall food plots, because they're going to switch back. They're going to be, if you can keep them there eating and everything, you should. Makes it easier for the first week or two of deer season. And then if you take that pressure off until the last 2 or 3 days, like say you hunt early season, they get off of that for a few weeks, for a couple hunts, they get all that sand, don't touch it again until the last few days of the season. That pressure change, they're going to hit it. So that's something to look at. It was like, I was just thinking about while I was driving, I'm like, man, the deer know, which is really cool to me, that they can pick up on that subtle change in the pressure that the people are putting on them. And they just will be out in the broad open like, hey, look at me. Like, I guess in their best imitation, they're saying, like, yes, you can't really touch this. And so that was just my thought process while I was driving. And when you got like 5 hours to drive, there's a lot of thought process going on. Like, I live out in East Oklahoma, and I'm driving over to the Panhandle, and people from Oklahoma know what I'm talking about, my favorite morning. I'm working over in Guyman, G-U-I-M-O-N, Guyman, Oklahoma. It's different out there. It's a big processing plant, and the wind blows just right. The best way I can describe the smell is like a burnt bacon smell. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it's like burnt bacon smell out there. I guess you gotta get used to it being there. So I'm driving out. I usually drive out when I have to go out there. I drive out on Sundays, spend whatever I have to be out there. So driving out, and we're seeing all these deer, and it's really cool to think about. They know the pressure's off. They know you can't do anything. And so it's like, what are you doing to prepare so that when you can't put that pressure back on, to be like, all right, I got you guys now. Like, Just to say, where I'm putting my boy's box stand, where I'm putting my boy's box stand on my place that we have, it's funny, I hadn't been out there in 3 or 4 weeks to check the feeder, which I need to. I went out there today, checked it. I'll probably fill it back up this weekend. And I had to pull cameras and check. I've got 230-inch bucks or so of their horns as a few days ago on camera on that stand that I don't have on camera anywhere else around my place. 4 and 5 does at a time. Those 2 bucks, oddly enough, are not on where I killed my deer this year. And that's only 400 yards, 500 yards apart maybe. So it was really cool to see that. And they were out there eating one of our blocks that we worked a formula out for. And a mixture that we keep in our 55-gallon drum style feeder. I'll actually, once I get it filled up and everything, I'll probably record filling it up and doing a few things with it, throw out on the YouTube channel and probably hit TikTok and Facebook and all that. Our stuff we run. And see, probably start planting at I'll probably just that area back up and get some stuff planted in the next 4 weeks, maybe if weather clears up mildly. Just see what it's going to do. But it goes back to, like I said, the podcast I had several weeks back about it. If you can, you should. And we're definitely going to put the work in so that we can have some really cool film hunts with, especially my kids this year, but we got a couple other friends of theirs that want to hunt and have never hunted, and we're probably going to have them, give them out. If an opportunity presents itself, we're going to allow them to kill their first deer with us and everything too. So we're looking at getting all that on film just to have a blast with it, because not only will, be their first time, it's going to be something they can always go back and look at and cherish and everything. Like, how many of y'all remember your first year? And I did a podcast probably October, November about my first year and my first year in front of dogs. And it's like, really, it was, both were great experiences, like the coolest thing to me. And it's like, what took over that was, one of my good friends, he killed his first deer when he was 20, used to be real good, like, long story there, but no longer, but he killed his first deer. I took him and put him in a stand and got him set up, told him where they'd be coming out, and he killed his first deer over Cajun Wind. He was probably 22, 3 when he killed it, and I was on my family road shooting with there, helping find the deer, and I was probably more excited than he was, just because, like, I put them all in place and everything. Then fast forward to last year, Hunter, youngest son, killing his first deer, made it with a crossbow, which was made it even more awesome because he's never even shot a crossbow in life. And we had an opportunity, the deer was there, and, made it happen. And I was way more pumped up than he was. Like, more excited than I ever was on anything I've ever had the opportunity to kill. And so that's one reason we'll go through the box set and everything. We'll go to the house so that I can make it easier for us to hunt down and take some of their friends that haven't had the opportunity and everything. So maybe we'll go. My oldest son hasn't shot one. Hopefully October. Obviously next season, 2024 season, October. Hopefully we can get him his first. Hunter should be able to knock his second down. My little girl, she'll be too little. She won't be before. I'm gonna make her wait another couple of years while I let her shoot one. If you ask her, I'm gonna do it next year. She's ready. And we can't take her word for it. But they got a couple buddies that have never been. They've asked me in there, and that 9 to 11-year-old range, and if it's okay with their parents, and we're going to try to make it happen for them. And, that way they, not only do they get to kill the deer, they get the excitement of putting the meat on the table for their family. And just some of these kids and families, I don't want to go into too much detail also, but it'll be a big difference. So, something to look at. Not, and I know I've rambled on this one just because, I'm driving and by myself. I know this counts in the area. I can just ramble for 10, 15 minutes by myself like this and everything. But it's it goes back to that, in each episode with getting the kid into the outdoors, and not just the kid, anybody that's not at outdoors or that hasn't had the opportunity. If they act you should be there, hey, I want to do this, give them an opportunity. Because without them having an opportunity, they may never do it and never realize that they enjoy it or anything, and so happy. And then you create somebody, an opponent that's going to be in the corner of hunters, not in the corner of the anti-hunters. And if we don't get something going on where we have more guys that are willing, I'm a hunter and excited about it, then you're going to have a lot of stuff happening that's not okay. I was reading something the other day, Colorado, obviously everybody knows about introducing the wolves, but I want to say it was Colorado. I could be wrong. I'm not going to try to look it up with me driving. But if anybody listening and wants to reach out to us and correct me, I'd be more than happy to be corrected, because I want to make sure that I'm the right information. And like I said, it was one of the states that has a cougar season, where they can, and they're postponing it because of the anti-hunters being more vocal than the hunters. So it's just a matter of time before they completely lose that cougar season. And then, like I said, the wolves being introduced, that's creating a big, it's going to create a big problem. Because if you look at the study of what happened in Idaho, Montana, and everything when they put them back in, Colorado has the best elk population prior to this. Colorado's going to lose a hell of it. That lake's just part of its elk population. And because it was voted on, yeah. But the people that voted on it it's not being released in areas they live on, the main ones that voted for it. I don't want to go on a tangent about that and everything, because we all have our own opinions. Opinions are great. But also, just because you feel that it should be done, you also need to understand the consequences of it being done and look at it from both sides. And the ones that know it, if you don't have to deal with the consequences of your behavior, then you're going to automatically, So that's a subject I don't want to broach too much. But I am. We're allowing people to vote on stuff that doesn't affect them, so they're going to vote in the way that they don't give they don't give a fuck about the rancher, the farmer, and his cattle and everything. That's not their problem. All the wolves are the wolves are this or that, and they want to put them back in. Great. But build all the large cities and everything else is supposed to disperse all the animal population. Not the guy out here farming and ranching. So if we're gonna really go into that, then we probably need to we need to quit overpopulating areas with people. That's the fucking problem. So, like I said, didn't really want to go into that, but it is what it is. If you take states that 3 or 4 cities control the whole state when it comes to the vote, there's a problem with that. And we're gonna lose more freedoms of the hunting world and other things. So be a proponent of what we gotta be a proponent of what's important. And that's the outdoors and everything. We gotta start opening our mouths. So, in a professional way. You can't can't force it outside. Like, as the ones against us can say it and force it upon us any way they want, and we have to be careful how we do it, because you're seen as, you know how you're seen. So with that, I think I'm gonna wind this one down. I appreciate y'all's time. Sorry I went on a tangent, and if you like it, reach out to me, let us know. Delta Lodge Outdoors on Facebook, or TikTok, or Instagram, YouTube. Like, messages. Like, there's a bunch of shit where you get in touch with info at Delta Lodge Outdoors. If you correct me on whatever state I'm talking about with the cougar season, I'd just love to know, because I read it, but I can't remember which one it was. Explain some of this voting shit to me if you get it better than I do about how we need to go about this to not get labeled as, bullies. So, and I can always say, thank you for your time. Introduce somebody to the outdoors that hasn't been. Hell, who knows? You might can change an anti-hunter's mind. Y'all have a great one. Julius Craig, Delta Lodge Outdoors.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Delta Lodge Outdoors. This is Julius Craig. We appreciate you listening to us today.